Yo, what's up, everybody? All right, so we got another live going on, waiting for people to get these notifications and all that good stuff. So, yep, we'll talk about anything and everything today. You already know the business, how that goes. So y'all can ask your questions, and we'll be checking that out. Yo, what's up, Jack? Appreciate you for watching. Yep, back with another live stream. You already know what's up. Reynaldo, what's up? Just here hanging out with y'all and stuff like that. You already know. And just seeing how everything is with all these news and things dropping left and right, besides DC, we got different companies and all that stuff. So, it's always interesting to talk about that and just chat about it and all that good stuff. So, you can ask your questions and all that good stuff. Today we're gonna be just pretty much talking about anything. It doesn't just have to be DC. It could be about anything, you know. Um, I hear James Gunn's doing Superman tomorrow, Man of Tomorrow. I don't care right now. I'm tired of superhero movies. Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of us are feeling like that, honestly. Like we are exhausted with this whole genre of superheroes and stuff like that. You saw James Gunn's confirmed Superman movie too. I guess it didn't flop after all. No, the movie's a flop, period. Like it didn't bring in the money. And like I've been saying, and a lot of people have been saying, honestly, it's just James Gunn doing what he wants to because of course he has the power in the sense of since he is the CEO of DC Studios, of course he's gonna do a part two to it. And he's just full of crap, honestly. I get it, Ronaldo. I know that you're a James Gunn fan and stuff like that, but James Gunn is a hack, honestly. Ace, what's up? New Man of Tomorrow. Yeah, mad at James Gunn. Yep, yep, yep. Exactly. He stole it. Reynaldo, I don't even know if you know this, but did you know that when Zach was there, they were gonna do Man of Steel 2 and it was going to be called Man of Tomorrow? Are you aware of that? Like a lot of James Gunn fans are not aware of that and they don't understand that that's what Zack Snyder had planned, and the same thing, he was gonna bring in Brainiac, and now rumors are coming out that at the end of Superman, it just didn't make it to the final cut, that they did have Brainiac, at the end credit scene, but they didn't end up putting that, just because I guess WB wanted to see, what was the reaction and stuff like that. But I guess how it surpassed, quote unquote, their 500 million that they wanted to make back, from the shitty production. Now that's why they're probably saying, you know what, go ahead, we're gonna make a part two to Superman, and this has been planned from the beginning, and looking at how things are with James Gunn. Yes, I've been talking about that his contract is supposed to come in, to an end next year, but this kind of shows, and it's proven that it looks like WB is renewing his contract, unfortunately. And if they're going to do that, because they're already, he already announced the date for July 2027. I mean, that's in 2 years, so in 2 years he should be out, because next year is supposed to be the end of his contract. But if this is for sure and this is legit gonna happen, this just confirms that his contract is getting renewed for sure. Or it could just be, fake hype that they're just trying to create so people can go out and, watch the movie and stuff like that. So, again, like things could change. So, if they asked Batgirl, they could do the same thing with James Gunn. So don't think it can't. And like I've been saying, you can't sleep on what's going on with that thing coming in with Comcast, that they want to do DC alternative content for the streaming service. So if they want to leave James Gunn doing what he's doing with his DCU over on, what they're doing right now, I don't care. But if they want to go ahead, meaning, if WB sells, part of DC, and Comcast wants to acquire it, or who knows what the hell is gonna happen, and they want to put that content on HBO Max, yo, go for it. That would be awesome. So I think we can all eat and enjoy. To the ones that want James Gunn and whatever he's doing, you can go ahead and enjoy it. But on HBO Max, we can enjoy the Snyderverse and everything that has to do with that. That will be a solid win, and I will be cool with that. And I will be like, you know what? I don't care whatever they're doing over there in the DCU, as long as we're getting, more Snyderverse on Comcast. I mean, on HBO Max. That would be dope as hell. Honestly, I think Nicholas Holt is put suit to make comic accurate, colorful style, and I'm not happy. Yeah, that they're just gonna go with that whole silly comic book style, if you want to say. But that doesn't always end up well. It's some things just don't work from comic book into live action. Man of Tomorrow's from Henry Cavill, not David Cornswell. Yep, exactly. It was supposed to be for David. I mean not David. It was supposed to be for Henry Cavill. And it sucks. It just really sucks, honestly, what WB's doing and allowing James Gunn to do whatever the hell he wants. James Gunn's just straight up copying Zack Snyder. That's all. Ty, what's up? Appreciate you for watching. Also, I hear James Gunn's Superman Man of Tomorrow. Yep, yeah, he stole it. He stole the title from Zack Snyder. This is why I'm done with WB and DC. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I really agree with you. The same with me. I am done. I am done with WB and DC too. Like I am really, really done with this company. Y'all might not see me talking too much about it, just because I'm just tired of it. Like I just don't care anymore. I don't even have the energy anymore, to keep on talking about this shitty company and everything that they're just trying to put out just because they want everybody to like accept what they're putting out. It's like, yo, we're real fans, we're real consumers, and we're real customers. We know what we want, and it's just unfortunate that this is all happening. Random person. Superman has a sequel announced. Yep. We heard that. Leroy, what's up? Appreciate you for watching. Hello, sorry I'm late. Not interested in any James Gunn's DC. Yeah, me neither. I am not interested, honestly. I am not interested at all. A lot of people are starting to feel like that too. I've been watching a lot of videos after that announcement today, and a lot of people are like, "What?" They're like, how does this movie get a sequel knowing that it tanked at the box office? But again, it's the desperation of WB and they feel that they're winning and stuff. And the goal of WB right now is just to erase everything that's with Zack Snyder and everything that had to do with the DCEU. That's it. That's all their goal is about right now. They don't care that they're losing money. Their ego and their pride is so high that this is why they're doing this. And this is a red flag, honestly. And this is just sickening, honestly. Do you think James Gunn will be out 2026 after Superman Man of Tomorrow will come out 2027? That's the interesting thing. We don't know. Like we have to look at it. It's a 50-50. Like I just said, it can be that James Gunn's contract is getting renewed, and this confirms it because if he's announcing something for July of 2027, that's in 2 years. That's after he would be gone next year, which this would prove that he's not going anywhere. This looks like he's staying because for him to announce the actual release date, I mean, that's kind of confirming, yo, like he's still going to be around. But, big but, this is where the big but comes into. Let's not forget the same thing happened to Batgirl. They did Leslie Grace the same way. Those two directors that were supposed to make Batgirl, and remember, they were supposed to also do Batman Beyond, and that was hinting that we were supposed to get it, right after Batgirl or something like that, and they canceled that, and anything is possible that they can do it. So sometimes, the way that things are, they're just probably trying to build up emotion, trying to build up, excitement for people to be like, oh, I can't wait, I'm gonna go see it, and again, Supergirl's not going to make the numbers at the box office next year. And I think this is just some bullshit from James Gunn that he's just marketing and saying it just so people can go out there and be like, oh, I'm ready for this movie. So the shilling has already begun for Super Shit too. Honestly, like that's what it is. That's what I'm thinking that this is all coming from and stuff like that. I heard it from you for the first time, but I'm not surprised that Zack Snyder would use the title Man of Tomorrow. Sounds like a title of DC Zack Snyder movie. Vegeta, what's up? Hell yeah, F the bright colors. Hell yeah, completely. I agree with you. I'm not down with this all this silliness and all this bright, cheerful, hopeful, whatever it is that they're trying to do. They don't even have a clue what's going on, honestly. I can't wait until Gun is out. Yeah, a lot of us are feeling like that. We are all feeling the same way. I think this new Batman Gotham City DCU for Clayface, James Gunn feel like he don't care about Batman too. Nah, James Gunn doesn't care about what do you call it, the Batman 2. He's gonna just try to push everything. And remember, this could be another thing too. I know Aaron Fisher made a video about this today, and I just finished watching like not long ago and stuff like that. What's up to Aaron if he's watching and stuff? But like he did point out something very important, and he said that with the way that things are, like I've been talking about, remember James Gunn's contract is supposed to be coming to an end November 2026. This is just him probably trying to fast track and say, yo, let's rush it. Let's just do it. Let's do this, and they're going to do it extra cheap, So this is going to be completely worse than the first one because if they're trying to push out the next Superman within the next 2 years, yo, I'm telling you right now, yo, you think the first one was trash? Get ready for the second one, man. This is going to be completely slop. I'm totally done with these clowns. Yeah, I agree with you, Leroy. Honestly, for sure. Jurassic World's winning over 400 in profits. Yeah, for sure. But notice how they don't want to give credit to that. So yeah, and it's gonna be crazy because in 2027 we're gonna be getting what is it, Doomsday, the Avengers. We're supposed to be getting, I think, Secret Wars. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna come. So I'm telling you right now, once Marvel drops Avengers Doomsday, it doesn't matter what day of the year and whenever James Gunn wants to put it out, it's done. It's cooked. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be dead for sure. Because once Avengers with Marvel Doomsday comes out, regardless when of that year, yo, DC is done. Like they're outnumbered. There's no chance for them. Honestly, there is no chance. And when they drop Secret Wars, it's over. It's over for DC. It's already, DC's already dying as it is. When it comes to the brand that they are and stuff like that. And it sucks. It really sucks. But this is what they've allowed. Originally, James Gunn was going to call Superman movie Superman Legacy. Yeah, that's what he wanted to call it, Superman Legacy. I remember that. Jurassic World Rebirth was good fun. Hell yeah, that movie was so damn good. And especially with the deleted scenes, like if you've seen it with the deleted scenes, it's even better, honestly. And I'm like, damn, they should have just put it out, honestly, like that. Do you think James Gunn will put Chris Pratt as Deathstroke, not Batman and Green Arrow? Nah, I don't think he'll be Deathstroke. Honestly, I have a feeling, me personally, this is just my point of view. I think James Gunn, low key, has already spoken to Chris Pratt, and he's already given him a big major role. Chris Pratt's not gonna come in for a side B character. I'm telling y'all straight up. Chris Pratt's gonna come on board for something big, and I think this is just me speculating. I think that James Gunn has already convinced and told and agreed, with WB and with him that he's going to be the next Batman. I don't know why, but something tells me that Chris Pratt is going to be Batman for the Brave and the Bold. That's who I think my prediction is going to be. I don't know why, but I'm just being very, very convinced that I have a gut feeling that's who's James Gunn's going to pick to be Batman from his DCU. I see it more like his contract will be ending. He's desperate knowing his time is running out. Matt Reeves is getting more attention, something Gunn hates. Exactly. And the head clashing is about to start. You're right about that, Shin Batman 84. The head clashing is about to start. Look, I'm just saying that I'm getting chills because I can already see that happening. Look, let's be real. The spotlight is now starting to shine on Matt Reeves. We know James Gunn's ego and his pride is high, so he's gonna be like, hell no, I don't want nobody else taking the glory. So what am I gonna do? He's gonna give notes. He's gonna make it so difficult for Matt Reeves, and in the end, I think they're just gonna end up canceling the Batman 2 and again doing a tax write-off. Because look, what's his name? The dude that play the Penguin, what is it? Colin Farrell, whatever his name is, I don't know now. The dude that plays the actor that plays Penguin, he's not even sure he's coming back for the second one. He said that the script is amazing or it's apparently good. But of course, he's just gonna say that because they have to say that. It's just a publicity stunt that they have to kiss ass and stuff in this industry. But he's even saying that he's not sure he's gonna be back for the second one. He's like, I kind of just went in there, did my thing. He said the same thing like the other dude, John Turturro. He has said the same thing. I just went in there, did my thing, and that's it. So it's like they don't want to come back for that. It's like why ruin something that it was done good. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if Joey, I mean, wasn't it, Zoe Kravitz is out, and this dude Colin is out, and what's his name, John is out. Yo, that's already three people from that movie. That's telling you something is shaking behind the closed doors, and probably they've read something or seen something or heard something, and they're like, nah, I don't want to be involved with that, honestly. So it would be best for them not to, and just say, you know what, let me just step away, and they should just scrap it, honestly, because I have a feeling while James Gunn is still there, and it looks like he's still going to be in power, he's gonna do everything that he can to humiliate to humiliate Matt Reeves and those fans the same way that he did with us, the Snyder fans and the Snyderverse. And that's what James Gunn does. He's all about lies and he's all about himself. And WB is allowing that. They don't get in the way. They don't interrupt. And like that's just what it is. His jealousy is gonna consume him. And soon you're gonna start seeing head clashes. You're gonna start seeing it. Watch. James Gunn want to do Batman Brave and Bold right now, but he can't do it about stupid Matt Reeves Batman 2. Doomsday with Deadpool and Wolverine and Toby take my money. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's gonna take everybody's money. I'm telling you right now, Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars guaranteed. Those are gonna cross $1 billion. Those IPs alone. This is the Avengers we're talking about. Those movies are going to cross $1 billion guaranteed. Both of them. Marvel knows it. They know it. They know exactly what the hell they're doing. And people are gonna go see that because of course it's the Avengers. So people are gonna want to see that. I love watching when they do team ups and stuff like that. And that they got my money, once it comes out and stuff like that. What is it? Let me see. Peacemaker season 2, Man of Tomorrow. Boy, it's almost like we're being forced fed DC projects like MCU did. Yeah, exactly, Eric. I agree with you. That's what they're doing. They're like, here you go. That's why I did that video today. I put that picture of James Gunn like he's serving up 2 plates of straight up poop because that's what he's serving. He's just bringing and serving, slop to everybody. James Gunn doesn't know what he's doing, honestly. And, his whatever, it is what it is. I'm not going to give ideas. James Gunn won't be getting his hands on Batman. WBDC will have another bad year with Nolan and Tom Holland crushing them. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot that Christopher Nolan is bringing out that movie, and of course Spider-Man that's gonna be out soon. So I can't wait. And of course, whatever it is that Nolan's gonna be putting out, things like that. So let's see. Shrek movie 5 has a confirmed date release for 2027. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Does that mean a future Superman director can use Superman Legacy as a title? Yeah, they can. Gunn be like, no, you can't use that title. But yeah, they could use it because if they're not using it, I mean, somebody else can pick that up too. Chris Pratt is better off as Booster Gold. Yeah, that would be interesting. I just don't see Chris Pratt as Batman at all. Me neither, but like honestly, if he bulks up, and you cover up that face to leave the chin, I can see it. I can see it. Look into it and you'll see. That's just me speculating, but I think that because Chris Pratt, he's been working out lately. Like, and I don't see him playing like like some generic character. Like, dude has to be in the main center stage. I mean, come on, he was in Jurassic World, the main actor for all 3 films. And Guardians of the Galaxy, he's the main face. So Chris Pratt he's not a B character, a side actor. He has to be the main center of attention. And I think that's who he's gonna be. I have a feeling that that's who he's gonna be. He's gonna be the next Batman. Chris Pratt can even pull from Jack Black's acting. Chops as Poe from Kung Fu Panda from Booster Gold. I have a point to make. If Warner don't want money, then what do they want? If money can't convince them to bring the Snyderverse back, because surely Snyderverse was making them more money than this. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. They were making money, but again, their ego. I think, you know what? Honestly, this is just me speculating and putting my tinfoil hat on, if you want to say. To me, is like there's people on the board inside of WB that are straight up under the table getting money from Disney. That's it. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I mean. But I think that there's people inside of WB that on purposely they are allowing all this to happen, and they're still trying to prevent anything from the Snyderverse to make a comeback because Marvel knows that once WB announces the return of Zack Snyder, the Snyderverse is restored, the air cut is released, and we get Justice League 2 and 3, it's game over. It's game over guaranteed for Marvel. So what they're trying to do, and of course Marvel has that crazy money in the sense that they could pay off anybody and be like, look, here's some hush money, and don't say nothing, but now you work for us. And when you have rats like Toby Emmerich and Ann Sarnoff and Kevin Sujihara, Walter Hamada, when you have all these rats like what we had in the past, That's what happens. They were all on Disney's payroll. I don't care. Nobody can convince me and tell me otherwise. Those clowns were all on Disney's payroll because when you had Kevin Feige on the set of the Suicide Squad, and now recently you had on the set of Superman Chris Pratt, yo, you're just straight up showing them, hey, this is what we're working on. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you're giving them free ideas so they can go ahead and just run off with it and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think that's what's happening and stuff. Peter Safran won't produce Do Brave and Bold, Clayface. Wonder well, he might be quiet. Will he be fired? Yeah, notice how Peter Safran is quiet. He is not saying anything. Peter Safran is like the penguin from what do you call it, Madagascar, with the little penguins just smile and wave boys. That's him. That's him right now. He's just like, yo, I'm just getting a check. Screw everything. I'm gonna be out this bitch soon. That's what I think is gonna happen. Dude's gonna bounce and he's gonna be like, I don't want nothing to do with this no more. And that's the rumor. His contract should be coming to an end very soon. So within probably now where we're in, we just started September. So literally fall is here. So from here to like sometime in November, we should be hearing something about him. Either they're gonna renew the contract, which I highly doubt, or they're just gonna make him step down from his position. And rumor has it that he wants to focus on his studio and his production, because I think he has Saffron Studios or whatever it's called. I mean, he did fund some of the movies that were like Shazam, and I think it was Blue Beetle, and some other ones, along with Walter Hamada and stuff like that during their time and things like that. So we'll see what happens. What is it? Deadwood took 12 years to be restored because the fans didn't give up. Yeah, exactly. You can't give up. I don't see the Batman 2 being canceled. Too much writing on this one. Gun stuff will most likely be getting canceled more than Matt stuff. It could be. It could be. I mean, everything is right now shaky, and everything is uncertain right now. WB is right now in a situation that you can't believe anything that they say. Honestly, you just cannot believe that. And remember when James Gunn took that picture with Zach, he was like, "Oh, quote unquote, my friend." But notice how Zack Snyder, till this day, still hasn't shared that picture. He still hasn't posted that picture. But when Zack takes pictures with his friends, he actually shares it on social media. And till this day, we do not have a picture from Zack himself sharing it, saying, "Oh, with my friend James Gunn." And then James Gunn wants to be like, "Oh, that's my friend," but then he wants to, go back and retcon the ending, but the beginning of Peacemaker season 2, remove the Justice League to replace it with the Justice Gang, the same tone, the same colors. Get out of here with that crap. You just wanted to erase the Snyderverse. That's it, period. That's what his goal is, and all that. And the only way that I see that is by Disney sending him over to do that. And that's what he's doing. He's doing a fine job at that. Fans never gave up for TCW season 7 or Samurai Jack season 5. Yeah, exactly. The power is in our hands. We're the fans. We're the ones that make these decisions, and we can make things change straight up. That's pretty amazing about Deadwood. Never knew fans fought to bring it back. Yep, exactly. A lot of it's just the power is in the fans, honestly. Even the new DC animation Aztec movie looks like crap. Yeah, yeah. And again, they're pushing that agenda. Everything is pushing an agenda with them. Supergirl's gonna fail. Yeah, it's gonna fail real, real hard. Avengers Doomsday is gonna cross 1 billion due to name recognition of the bigger actors. Yeah, exactly. But it's already it's a set. It's a brand. That's what it is. Now, if they were to restore the Snyderverse and announce Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3, I'm telling you right now, it's game over. It's game over. And then WB can go at it with and versus Marvel. Because they wanted to do that back in the day, back in 2013 with Man of Steel, when with the beginning of the DCU. And DC has always tried to copy Marvel, but if they would have stuck with Zack and just said, "Yo, do what you want to do the same way that they're letting James Gunn do whatever the hell he wants," I guarantee you, DC would be the king of the mountain, would be on top. Disney wouldn't be where they are right now with their Avengers and everything that they're doing. The only thing is that WB got desperate and they allowed them to come on set and see and in other words spy what their competitor is doing. They screwed themselves up, honestly. WB should have just said, "Look, Zach had a tragedy in the family. We're gonna wait it out, and when he's good, then we'll pick up." But no, hard-headed WB wanted to bring in Joss Whedon because Joss Whedon did the Avengers, and wow, it made $1 billion. Okay, it didn't do that to DC with the Justice League. And we saw how that turned out. But the only reason why that thing went down is because WB allowed that to happen. They thought by bringing in Joss Whedon, they were gonna be like, "Yo, we're gonna make $1 billion." No, it didn't. It's costed you probably about almost $1 billion because of your stupidity. You should just let Zack Snyder come back and say, "You know what? When I'm ready and things are okay, we'll continue. We'll pick up where we left off." But no, WB trying to rush. This is why they are where they are right now. And till this day, they're still doing the same thing. Superman flop is a disaster at the box office. They're all faking these numbers and saying everything because, of course, they're paying shills for people to fake review it. And they're like, "Oh, we're winning with 500 million." That's why they came out. They're like, "Oh no, well, 500 million is what we're good with." Yeah, because you're making back what you spent. Where's the profit? It's like you're not making any profit. It's ridiculous. Let's see, great live. Appreciate that. I have no idea what happened. Swamp Thing stuff going on. Yeah, Swamp Thing is another thing too. Is up in the air. James Gunn's DC only ever plans and announcements lately. He can't ruin names like Affleck on board. He's screwed. Even he knows Gunn is just indulgent comedy. Yeah, exactly. It's just nobody wants to work with Gunn like that. What's up? I'm playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Nice, nice. Let's see. Which one you have, the collection or just the OG one? I got the collection recently. These clowns failed at DC. Yeah, yeah, DC's failing really, really bad. Hot take, I don't think Chris Pratt is going to be in the DCU. Nah, he's gonna be in the DCU. That's James Gunn's buddy. That's his BFF. Do you think Chris Hemsworth would fit for Batman? Yeah, he's pretty big. He's pretty big. I don't see him as Batman though. I would probably see Chris like he would be more like, I don't know. Maybe nah, he's a little bit too buff to be Green Arrow, but he could be somebody. Who knows who, but he could be somebody for sure. I hope to God he doesn't end up in the DCU. Chris Pratt is a humble, friendly dude. He's not an egotist. Yeah, yeah, but in the end money talks, so business is business. Your theory about the execs getting paid off is probably correct. Yeah, those executives, they're all disgusting. They don't care about none of us. All they care about is how much bonus they're gonna get at the end of the year. They don't care the company goes down. They just want to get their bonus at the end of the year. They're, if not worse than GameStop. GameStop is the same way. Like they don't give two shits about none of us. They're all this about, oh, it's about the players and the fans and blah blah. No, it's not. They're ripping off everybody on a daily basis. And at the end of the year, they're cashing in fat ass bonuses. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. Worst case scenario, WB only uses the air cut and Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 as a cash grab. That's it. Basically becomes the Trojan horse to fund their shitty projects. Yeah, that's another thing that it could be too. They could do that. And then, like the same way that they just did with the McFarlane campaign, with Batman versus Superman, Batmobile, Justice League, Batmobile, they got that shit funded in 5 days, literally. And in the whole month, it made over, like, I think it was like over 500,000, almost 600,000. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. So they know that there's money sitting there. Don't think that they're not going to use some of that money to fund the shitty Superman and whatever it is that they're trying to do now. So yeah, that's no surprise. Have you seen The Rock off the juice? Yeah, The Rock is looking straight up. He's worrying me. I'm like, damn, what's up with him? Like maybe he was required to be like that for that role. Who knows? But yeah, that's a little. It looks like a little health concerning. Andy Muschietti might be shocked to see Clayface. The new Batman is like James Gunn would never tell him. Yeah, notice how we haven't heard anything about Andy Muschietti. Everything has been quiet with him. It's been over a year we've heard anything from him and stuff. So, yeah, who knows? Who knows what the hell? I'm not sure how you pronounce your name, but Ilyas said hi. What's up? Appreciate you for watching. Also, appreciate everybody for watching. So if James Gunn is out of DC, is someone gonna take over, or is DC just done so? No, they're gonna keep on doing things. What they're gonna do? Who knows what the hell? But they're not gonna stop anything with the cinematic universe. It's pointless to stop. It makes money. Whether it's a flop or not, it's still making them money. Just overall to the company. Because I'm gonna tell you straight up, 500 million is still 500 million. Like shoot, that's. I mean, you might look at it as like, damn, like that's terrible. Yes, when it comes to a movie, to the start of a reboot and stuff like that, it's terrible. But 500 million, you can stretch 500 million. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you can still play around with it and stuff like that. One super drunk flops, Zazzy, Zazzy will consider firing Gunn. I can't wait. I really can't wait, honestly. Fuck Zazzy. But What's going on, Sergeant? I tell you this, I cannot give this movie a chance knowing that the information coming out regarding speculation cannot be trusted. Exactly. I agree with you. And that whole thing with Brainiac, for sure James Gunn's gonna steal it. You know, that was supposed to be at the end credit of Superman, and it didn't make it to the final cut. I think the studio was like, nah, let's just wait out. Let's see what the reaction, how much we make before we can move forward. They prepped it, but they didn't release it. And now that they're moving forward, they're like, yo, you know what? Okay, it was supposed to be there. So, you know, they're screwing around with James Gunn also. WB is WB. Let's not forget, straight up. You know, like WB is like Caesar. Any minute they're waiting to like turn their back and just shank you from the back. Honestly, you know, do you Caesar style? That's how I put it. Honestly, you know, you can't trust WB. That's why we have to put pressure on these assholes. Remember when Gunn kept saying Flash was one of the best superhero films? Yeah, exactly. That's another thing too. Look, I know I talked about that earlier today, but seeing the situation with Matt Reeves and James Gunn, I have a feeling that James Gunn's gonna do whatever he can to interfere and try to make the Batman 2 not look the way that Matt Reeves wants. And from what we're hearing is that James Gunn is trying to throw in Robert Pattinson's Batman into the DCU. You know, so anything can come from that. You know, a lot of people are like, "Oh no, it's not gonna happen." I don't see that happening. Yo, with James Gunn, anything that's silly can and will happen. You have to remember that. And as long as James Gunn's in power, this asshole is going to do everything that he can to screw around with all these directors. Don't think that Matt Reeves is not on his radar. For sure he is. You know, it's like somebody just said right now. You know, Matt Reeves is right now getting the spotlight. James Gunn is like, yo, hold on, hold on. Nobody else can get the spotlight but me. Because that's how James Gunn rolls. That's what his mentality is, you know? And every time that he says something is always the opposite. It's always going to be a lie, and it's always just going to be some type of clickbait, you know? Look at that. They had, when they canceled The Authority, it's like, come on. Then he comes out saying excuses, and then Superman did bad, and then he already said, "Oh, it doesn't matter if it flops." And yo, excuses with excuses. That's how they are and stuff. That movie was definitely a bomb after freaking 9 years of development hell. Yeah. We have no idea Brave and the Bold coming out. Film is about Batman 2. Do you think Andrew Garfield will get a part 3? I hope so, but I highly doubt it. I really highly doubt it at this point, honestly. It's like these studios don't give two shits about us, honestly. You know, you have Sony, you have Marvel, you have the video game industry, you have DC, you have all these companies and corporations. They don't care about us. They only care about what they feel is best, and they think they know what's best for business. But in the end, it always catches up to them. You know, it's just some way, shape, or form, it just catches up. Matt Reeves wants to do Batman Part 3 and Part 4, but can't happen. James Gunn wants to do his Robin and Clayface. Yeah. Yeah, James Gunn's he's gonna want to do what he wants. Pedro, what's up? Restore the Snyderverse. Hell yeah, all day. You already know we will stop at nothing for that. I think James Gunn makes Lex Luthor power suit for copy Iron Man suit MCU style. Yeah, most likely. I mean, if we saw that what it was Brovia, whatever that character is in Superman. I mean, that straight up looks like a straight MCU character. You know, that doesn't even look like a DC character. But whatever, you know, it is what it is. We will stop them from succeeding. Hell yeah, we have to keep our wallets locked. That's it. Um, I so want to do DC films down the road as a filmmaker, and even if Zack doesn't return, his influence has left his mark on how I structure hero arcs, thematic writing structure, and epic intimacy. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Eric. Look, that's exactly what I'm doing with my comic book that I'm working on. Look, I'm telling you straight up, since the beginning, you know, my comic book, it's gonna drop this month at the end on the 30th. So make sure y'all go out there and pre-order it. It's available right now digital, and it's gonna be releasing on the 30th. So you know it's wrapping up. So I'm getting everything ready for y'all. And I'm telling you straight up, if you enjoyed what you saw with Suicide Squad with David Ayer, of course that's what WB put out, but his vision, his style, his take, same thing with the Snyderverse. I'm telling you, this is gonna be for you because that's what's what I'm using as, you know, if you want to say a blueprint, and that's what I'm working upon, you know, so we can still enjoy that type of storytelling and, you know, that type of style and stuff like that. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, I'm working on something massive with this comic book after, you know, I put it out and stuff like that. So, but we'll talk more about that later on and stuff as we get close. Fans of James Gunn are just sitting there and taking it like good little boys, and in line from Joker giving him a pass on anything. Yeah, like when Joker has said that, take it like good little boys that we want werewolf. Yeah, that's freaking. It's amazing that that movie is freaking good. Let's see. Nicholas Holt, he is so boring, he sucks, and he needs Lex as James Gunn's weird staff. Yeah. WB's approach to Snyderverse is basically here you go, guys. Grabs money bags. Now, F you and F you. Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what he's doing. What up? I watched Transformers. Sean, what's up? Which Transformers did you watch? Let's see. The casting was actually perfect, but dear Lord, the whole damn movie was a parody. Straight up, it felt like a pure parody. You know, like I was like, what the hell is this? From beginning to end was just completely ridiculous. I was like, I can't take this movie serious. Let's see. Sheesh, if I had done a DC Cinematic Universe pitch, here's the difference. I'd already have stories and guidelines planned out before any projects is greenlit. And talking about greenlit, notice how James Gunn again is in a lie. Because he was like, oh, we're not gonna announce anything until, we have actually approved the script. And then now Superman, right? So you were working on that all along, So you can't believe James Gunn, honestly. James Gunn Superman is the naked gun of superhero films, only boring and lame. Imagine the Suicide Squad movie where they have to steal a classified DOD asset from Integrate from Intergang, one of the mother boxes. Who knows? I see Chris Hemsworth as Solomon Grundy. Oh man, that would be that I don't even know how to picture that, honestly. James Gunn might put Bane on a suit, Mexican wrestling suit, and make his sumo wrestling for Jacob Batalon. Who knows? Who knows? Honestly, Jim Carrey as Plastic Man. Yeah, I could see that, but Jim Carrey's already old. Like I don't think he would fit the character. I mean, I like what he did with Doctor Robotnik and Sonic, but for this type of character, I mean, they require a lot more energy and stuff like that. I don't think he's up for it anymore. Doomsday will be PG-13. Yeah, most likely it's gonna be PG-13. Do you think DCU casts Wyatt Russell as Deathstroke? Who knows? Or honestly, who knows? I really don't know what the hell they want to do. David Cornsett playing Ultraman, pretending to be Hammer Boravia. David's like, I know who I am. I'm a dude playing the dude design. This guy's as another dude. Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. Notice how David, not David, how what's his name? James Gunn used him for three different characters again to try to keep the money within the same team. It's like, yo, like I don't know, but that just kind of smells fraud to me. It's like I don't know, it's just WB. Stephen Lang as Slade Wilson. It could be. Who knows what they want to do, man? I cannot believe WMBD and DC have become a laughing stock. Yeah, they're straight up a laughing stock up the ass. It's like it's completely all the other companies in this industry, they're all laughing at them. But that's what they've allowed. That's what they've become. A big company has lost its reputation on everything. It's embarrassing. It really is. If I was in WB, I would be embarrassed. I'd be like, I can't believe we're actually doing this and allowing them. Did you know Josh Duhamel he coming back for Transformers? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was reading that thing that he's excited to come back and for Michael Bay and things like that. So that's why I'm telling you, like Paramount, yo, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. Paramount, they're not fucking around. Paramount's coming with like vengeance. Paramount's coming out like, yo, we are gonna make this money, and they're gonna come out hard. They're making moves. Like they're doing what they have to do. Now they're doing that Call of Duty movie. They're working back on Transformers. Like they've gotten their shit together, and I like that. That I like. Like they're taking priority and knowing what's gonna make them money because they know they've been losing a lot of money, so they have to. James Gunn don't make realistic DCU characters, just want to do comic accurate, and that is nothing. Yeah, just all that silliness and all that goofiness. Transformers 2007 first movie. Yeah, that's still a badass movie, honestly. 2007, man, that's what revived the Transformers brand. The James Gunn fandom is huge. I don't know, bro. Nah, it's not huge. Nah, it's not huge. It's just a shilling. That's why it looks like it's huge, but it's not a huge fan base. If it was huge, like you're saying, they would have made up to almost like $1 billion, but they didn't. Straight up, they didn't. So like we can't even talk about that honestly. Like it's not big enough. The gun fandom is very niche. Not everyone really cares for comedy movies, let alone takes them seriously. Yep, exactly. I agree with you. James Gunn was trying to make Superman 2025 for cartoon Superman, but I don't care. Yep. Have you seen Nobody 2 yet? Nah, not yet. I haven't seen the I haven't seen movies in a minute, and I need to catch up ASAP. Keanu Reeves in the 90s as Batman would have been epic. Yeah, that would have I would have seen probably, like Keanu Reeves doing like Batman Rebirth and that whole, that outfit that he wears, that bat suit. That I would see Keanu Reeves playing that version of Batman. That would be dope, honestly. Um I think it's just America that cares about the DCU. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. It's just again the shilling. It's all about the shilling and stuff like that. If I had to use James Gunn's script for Superman, here's a scene I'd add: Lex exposes Ultraman to kryptonite to keep him complacent and harmless, and he abuses his own Superman clone. Oh man, James Gunn wants to do Bizarro villains for Justice League DCU, more like Justice Gang, because that's who he wants to focus, not Justice League. Uh, Not just to show up how much he hates Superman, but also using abuse to make the clones stronger. Yeah. Let's see. Restore the Transformers verse. Wait, it has. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Paramount's not playing around. We could have got Batman movie with Deathstroke as the villain. Restore the Snyderverse. Yeah, man, big time, big time. I don't know if you guys have heard of Era the Blockbuster, but here's an example of an opinion of a true DC fan. He views it almost like a continuation of the DCAU animated universe from the 90s, 2000s. James Gunn would try be good. God DCU fan page. Okay, I saw it yesterday. It was good. James Gunn announced another Superman movie. I wonder if there's a powerful enough to stop him. It is horrible. Yeah, we'll see. We will see as we get closer. Do you think James Gunn probably gets Bella Ramsey to play Batgirl DCU? Or not sure. I hope so. I mean, I hope so. Honestly, I'm still waiting to see what James Gunn can do with Batmite. That would be something interesting. Why Mortal Kombat got delayed? Because the excuses of these of Warner Brothers, they just, I think that they knew that that movie sucks, so they're like, let's push it back so we could work on it, and they're blaming the season. They're like, oh well, not a lot of people are gonna go watch it because it's Halloween month, and people are not gonna go out as much, so they're just bullshitting, honestly. And I think they just pushed it because what they want to do is for next year is, okay, May is supposed to be Mortal Kombat now, and then June. No, hold on. May, I think they pushed, yeah, to May Mortal Kombat, and in May they're also releasing Supergirl because they moved it from June because Spider Man's gonna come out in June, and that's all they have for next year. So I think that's what they just want to have a double hit back to back in the sense of well, we could capitalize double by doing Mortal Kombat, and right after that we're gonna release Supergirl so they could keep on making money during the spring and the summer. So I think that's what it is. That's just a reason why. Let's see. But Bella Ramsey should be Batmite. That would be freaking hilarious. Wars the Marvel. What's up? Appreciate you for watching. Cause WB Suits watched a rough cut of Mortal Kombat 2. It wasn't good. Yeah, most likely. Bella Ramsey should be that goth girl in the upcoming adaptation. I'm not Starfire. We saw it wasn't good with that trailer. James Gunn might get Andrew Barth Feldman play Plastic Man to make comedy style. Yeah, he didn't he just come out saying that he wants to or something like that. I could see that happening. Like he looks goofy enough to do that, so I guess that would be perfect for him to be that character. We will stop at nothing. Hell yeah, you already know it, Pedro. WB will do reshoots on Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah, they're gonna again doing reshoots, and it's gonna cost them even more because they have to again one delay production, two like you're gonna have to spend more money to do those extra reshoots, and I guarantee you half of those reshoots are not even gonna make the final cut, and that movie's still gonna be crap. I think now, like my expectations for Mortal Kombat 2 have even dropped more. I'm like, yo, if you're pushing it back that means you're not confident in it, honestly, because October is a perfect month to capitalize, because they could be capitalizing October, November, and December. But again, stupid dumbass WB, they don't know what the hell they're doing. I think James Gunn would try to carve and when Brave and the Bold, Batman, cartoon show. Who knows? Who knows what the hell? Restore Snyderverse. Hell yeah, you already know it. James Gunn writing Batman is my worst nightmare. Yeah, a lot of people's nightmare. Honestly, I agree with you. Would you review Wonder Woman? What would you rewrite Wonder Woman 84? I would make it a present day movie. Yeah, hell yeah. Wonder Woman 84 was trash. That was trash, honestly. And you're hearing it from a Snyder fan, but that had nothing to do with Snyder. So that was all Patty Jenkins, and she did terrible in that movie. But I also blame WB because of course you have executives that must have been like, oh well, let's do this, let's add that, let's take this out, and it's like, yo, what the hell, like you can clearly see that there was so much influence in that movie, meaning from like people above her and stuff like that. Yeah, but a present day movie would be much better. James Gunn will include Skibbity Toilet and Brave and the Bold to traumatize Damian Wayne. Oh man, I didn't like Mortal Kombat 1. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 1, I didn't like it as much. I only liked Scorpion and Sub Zero, and that's it. Kano was funny, and Kung Lao, he was good too. But I didn't like that guy. I don't remember what was his name. I was like, why are they even putting this character in here? I didn't like what they did with Goro. That was terrible. I didn't like what they did with Reptile. I don't know if that was Reptile or Chameleon, whatever the hell it was. They did him dirty. I was like, nah, that was just not necessary. You think the Snyderverse would actually be restored? Yeah, there's still a possibility for that. Um, like I said, it can happen on HBO Max. If that side, meaning a license, probably is acquired. But this is me speculating from the rumors that have been circulating and going around and stuff like that. And I've spoken about this a few times already, and I'll keep on talking about it. But that whole network or merger, whatever the hell they're doing with Comcast, that Comcast gonna be helping them out for their streaming service. With HBO Max, I think something can come from there. Looking at it from the realistic and business standpoint, it would make sense because on HBO Max they could do R-rated content. They could do it like how they did on the Snyder Cut, that everything was like in parts. It wasn't one solid movie. It was just broken down into parts because Zach was going to pitch it like that to I think it was at the time that AT&T were there and stuff like that. So they ended up just turning it into the way that we have it. And it worked. It worked out fine. And they could do the same thing for HBO Max if they were to restore it. So yeah, it's a possibility, and like Ben Affleck said, anything is possible. James Gunn fanboy might be busting a nut and having orgasms because they're having super trash too. Yeah, probably. Oh man, straight up, probably having on an orgy or something. Peacemaker style. James Gunn is nightmare person. Be like Freddy Krueger. James Gunn making Batman into an idiotic peacemaker in a bad suit is my worst nightmare. Yeah, we might end up seeing something like that. Knowing James Gunn, Wonder Woman 2017 was set in World War I. I said World War II, World War II, and Barbara transforming into Cheetah should be body horror and tied to the kind of occult power that Hitler is looking for. When do you do update? When you do update info videos, are the source websites trustworthy? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Anything that comes from any website, even if it's variety, if it's legit or whatever, everything is a 50-50. Everything is just speculation, and things change. Y'all have to understand that things in this industry change on a daily basis, you know. The same way that James Gunn announced the first slate of Gods and Monsters, and now it's completely gone into who knows what state it's into. The Authority got canceled. Projects are getting changed. He changed Superman Legacy to just Superman, and he said he wasn't gonna do another Superman Part 2, and now we have that. I mean, things just change constantly. So nothing in this industry is to be taken for 100%. Everything should just be a 50-50. Everything is a rumor until like it's official and it's confirmed, But like I said, everything is just rumors and stuff. Have the Snyderverse resume as an Elseworld like the CW Arrowverse was? We haven't heard anything official. Nothing is official from that. But we do know that according to James Gunn, the Snyderverse is still around. So that would make it, if you want to say, an Elseworld, because he's saying that, yeah, it didn't get erased, which I just think he's bullshitting. He's just saying that just to like not to upset the fans any more than what they already triggered. And James Gunn's an asshole because he knows how to say things that's gonna irritate people. So I think that's what he's doing and stuff like that. So, but again, just take it as you know, everything is just rumors. In World War II movie, people kept using Nazis bad, and there's a war movies, but about one woman. Was it one World War II fit movie? Wonder Woman, where you explore a cold supernatural realm Hitler was drawn to. Are you not looking for Five Nights Freddy? Looks like trash right now. No, I'm actually excited for that. The first one was good. I'm actually looking forward to the second one. That Five Nights at Freddy's, it was pretty dope. I got to give it to them. For a PG-13 movie, that movie was actually good. I'm looking forward to the second one. I had no idea what that was about. And when I saw it, I just said, screw it. I just saw it and I was like, damn, that was pretty good. It was very well made. It was very entertaining. No type of agenda, no nothing. It was just straight up get to the point, like a horror suspense thriller type of movie, and they did good. I like what they did. That for a PG-13 movie, like it was pretty solid. James Gunn might not put Batmite his fart joke on Brave and the Bold. Bro, varieties of the horse shit. Yeah. Rank Multiverse of Madness and the Ragnarok higher than even Iron Man 2, the first Thor, even higher than the first Avengers. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Varieties is another one. Like you pay them more, and they're just gonna kiss up. I think comic of the Snyderverse would definitely happen, but I don't know on HBO Max because they love James Gunn for no reason. Yeah, but they're not putting anything on HBO Max besides Peacemaker, so who knows? I mean, if they're smart and they want to capitalize, this would be the time for them to make money and stuff like that. So, who knows what can happen? James Gunn's gonna glorify murder with Damian Wayne and set the scene to a poop rock track, probably because that's what James Gunn does. Honestly, James Gunn won't let Alan play Batman. James Gunn said no again. He doesn't care. Yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? Let's see. Gun Girls. Actually, Gun destroyed the Snyderverse and no longer exists thanks to Peacemaker season 2. Yep, pretty much. Let's see. I'm just catching up. All right, Guns official DCU projects are Creature Commandos, Superman, and Peacemaker season 2, which in a way acquires season 1 and the Suicide Squad. That makes you wonder about any future DC projects he wants. Yeah, anything that James Gunn has put out, I have a feeling he's gonna bring up all those characters from the Suicide Squad back. I know that girl Ratcatcher, she's supposed to be coming back. The rumors going around. I think King Shark is gonna be also coming back. I mean, that's Sylvester Stallone. I think James Gunn's just trying to build up. It's probably gonna try to build up to like that whole Justice Gang garbage, like he did in Superman, and they're all gonna probably come back for all that stuff, and honestly, as long as it's just not connected to the Snyderverse, I don't care what the hell he does anymore. Like a lot of us are exhausted and we're tired of what James Gunn and DC have been putting out, and like it's just too much. It's gotten to the point where we're all exhausted from this. Did you know Michael Bay was director to Lobo? What? He was gonna direct Lobo, or he wants to direct it? I don't think so. Michael Bay's real busy right now with Transformers and over there at Paramount. Hell, Blue Beetle wasn't even his movie. He called Superman back in 2023, his very first chapter of the DCU. Then backfires and say, nope, it's Blue Beetle. Yeah, exactly. I remember that. You see, James Gunn is a liar. He said that the start was going to be Blue Beetle, and that shit underperformed and did bad. And then he was like, oh no, it's gonna be Superman. Oh no, but then it comes out where it's gonna be Creature Commandos, and look at where we are right now. That's what James Gunn does. He lies. He lies and he lies. He doesn't stop with that. This is why, like I said, like as a DC fan, I'm tired. I'm exhausted, like of DC overall. I know many of us are. We want the best for this company, honestly. Like, I wish I could say I'm enjoying DC like we were a few years ago, but I'd be bullshitting you. I'm not. I'm just not enjoying it. I don't like it. I'm not keeping up to it. Like, I'm not keeping up to date with it. It's just I'm tired of this shit. Like it's the same thing constantly, and people are fed up. This is why they're not going out to the movie theater and stuff like that, just because of that. People are just tired of it, and it shows because if Jurassic World, a movie of dinosaurs, can make almost 900 million, which I'm sure DC must be like, damn, we could have made that money, but you didn't. You didn't deliver, and you didn't make that money. So let's be real. Jurassic World won 2025 summer box office. That's it. You know, I don't care how much they try to shill and tell you, oh, Superman was the movie that everybody watched. No, they didn't. That's bullshit. And then for it to be on streaming, regular price $29.99, and now it's at $9.99, half the price or probably less than half. It tells you a lot. It tells you a lot. Like, people are not eating this. People are not buying this, and people are just fed up with this. Like, it just tells you everything. It just completely tells you everything. Sounds like a DCU planning sheet is a bigger mess than the multiverse saga is. Yeah, yeah, it really is. James Gunn's the wrong person. James Gunn has no idea what he's doing. He's just doing it just to do it, but he's just literally robbing WB to take that paycheck. James Gunn wants to try to get Blue Beetle for Peacemaker season 2 to try to join DCU. Yeah, that's what he's gonna try to do. I mean, they're gonna do that cartoon, so it's already proven. But yeah, that's another DCEU character. Ugh, it just doesn't add up. Which YouTuber is the biggest show you've seen? Mine is Doom Glazer. There's a lot of shows out there, honestly. Like, a shill is a shill. Period. It doesn't matter which one. They're all the same. They all get paid to glaze, and that's what they do. James Gunn might get Lewis Pullman play Batman. He's from Thunderbolt Villains. Oh, okay. Who knows? Who knows again? But yeah, this is just it's kind of worrisome in the sense where, like, here we go again. Let's see what bullshit DC pulls out now. And every time it's just more and more stupid. It's like, this is what it's become. It's completely stupid. And it's sad. Like, it's hard to be a DC fan now. It's really, really hard. It's getting to the point where I'm like, you know what? I really just don't care anymore. I'm just not interested in. Um, all right, let's see. Elevator Pitch 2 of Batman Year 1 Origins, featuring Carmine Falcone, Penguin, Black Mask as villains, and you go full crime war in this movie to show the fragile alliance among organized crimes. Yeah, that's something what we saw kind of in the trailer for Arkham Origins, when you see in one of them, where you see Black Mask, you see I forgot who else you see in it. I think it was Black Mask, I think it was Deadshot or Deathstroke. I don't remember now. But I know it was something like that. That it looked like a movie. I was like, damn, they should just make the movie like that. Which King Shark is superior? Nanu or what? Or CW? The one from CW was dope. I gotta give it to them. They did a good King Shark. DC is dead to me right now. Yeah, I agree with you, man. A lot of people feel the same way. Well, Superman did make money for Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers has been sucking him. So I think the universe will at least make it to Justice. You mean Justice Gang and die? Yeah, yeah, most likely. James Gunn's not focused on Justice League. He's focused on Justice Gang. That's who he's like straight up just focused on when it comes to that. James Gunn might take his way. Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, and Black Mask and Matt Reeves have nothing can pull villains. Batman too. Yeah, most likely he might do that. He already did it with Clayface. He might end up pulling more, more of those villains from the Rogue and stuff like that. We have to see. We have to see what's gonna happen with it. What if the CW Arrowverse was originally canon to the Snyderverse DCEU? Some parts I think could be, but I don't know. Honestly, I mean, CW was doing way better than what we are right now with DC. Completely. Another Street Fighter being made. I cannot wait. Oh, they're making another one, 7, or is it just DLC that they're working on? Yeah, I just got 6, so that was pretty fun. It's just the roster's small, but hopefully the next one is good too. So I mean, we'll see what happens and stuff like that. But yeah, it's crazy. After seeing this whole news of today and stuff like that, it's just there's no surprise. But just seeing with James Gunn and everything that they're putting out right now is just not interesting. People are just not they're just not eating it up like that. Deadpool and Wolverine had the same budget as Superman and made $1 billion and profit of 400 million. True, that is true. The Superman's not even making that. Nope, not at all. Not at all, honestly. Let's see, a movie. All right. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild and stuff like that. James Gunn will be much like good Aquafina. He doesn't care. Make good Wonder Woman. Nah, James Gunn doesn't care about this. He's even said it. What would happen if Bale takes on Affleck? Bale would get a Bane treatment from Affleck, probably Pattinson too. Yeah, yeah. Like if you have these actors going at it, at least in the character, yeah, I think Ben Affleck's Batman would just he'll just take them all out. Honestly, that would be interesting and stuff like that. But yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is right now with DC. You know, like they're in a state that is just it's just ridiculous and things like that. But we'll see what else comes up. We're gonna be hearing more updates and things like that as you know the week comes and days and the months and all that good stuff. So we'll see and stuff like that. Yeah. But with that being said, you know, I'm gonna get going. I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. I'll probably be back sometime tomorrow, so make sure you check out the notification and all that good stuff. So until then, y'all have a good one. Peace.